That's my son. Before we talk about the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle in total non-stop action wrestling, here are my 4 honorable mentions. WrestleMania 22 was Kurt Angle's last WrestleMania until WrestleMania 34. And it was his last WrestleMania before he went on to TNA. Kurt Angle's career in the WWE has been a downward spiral since he lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Rey Mysterio in a triple threat match featuring Randy Orton. I know he's Perk Angle, but still, he drafted and went on to ECW, and it didn't work out. But he had matches with Randy Orton, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and it still didn't work out. So Kurt Angle has to leave the WWE. Things didn't get to Angle's way. On September 24, 2006, Kurt Angle has to sign a new deal with Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, so things will work out for him. Oh, it's real, it's damn real. On the episode of TNA Impact, Samoa Joe was in the ring with the NWA World Championship until the music and the intro was heard around the world, and the fans were shocked when Kurt Angle made his Impact debut to confront Samoa Joe, and he headbutts him, then he hits the Olympic Slam. And then these men brawl all over the Impact Zone. These two men worked their asses off to start this awesome rivalry. They had a dream match of the decade at Genesis, and it was one of the best matches of both men's careers, and they changed the landscape of professional wrestling. And in the end, Kurt Angle's ended Samoa Joe's 17-month undefeated streak. Angle proves that he is belong in TNA wrestling, and he proved he belongs in the Impact Zone. Most people considered one of the greatest King of the Mountain matches of all time with Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Christian Cage, AJ Styles, and the Wildcat, Chris Harris. It was a damn awesome match. Falling off ladders, crashing through tables, in the end, Kurt Angle became the first ever and inaugural TNA World Heavyweight Champion in my opinion. Since becoming the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, despite being one of the greatest wrestling and professional wrestling history, he is one of the most despised men on Impact, but still the best in-ring performer of all time, and accomplished more championships like defeating Brock Lesnar to become the AWGP Heavyweight Champion of the world. And he even brought out his soon-to-be ex-wife to professional wrestling. At Hard Justice, Kurt Angle would defeat Samoa Joe to win all of the TNA gold in one night. Yup. Never forget that he won all of the championships in one night. At Bound for Glory, he defended the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against the Icon, Sting, and he lost the championship to Sting only 12 days lived. It was a one-on-one dream match, and I'll never forget that Kurt hit the 450 knee drop on Sting. On a couple of nights later, he won back the title from Sting, and went on to be one of the greatest TNA World Heavyweight Champions of all time. This one is the most memorable one in Impact history. This one is one of the most memorable steel cage world title matches of all time. Kurt Angle is going MMA mode of defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, at Lockdown. And Samoa Joe became the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. It was one of the two men's best matches of their great rivalry, just like Genesis 2006. Kurt Angle's life is falling apart that he lost his wife, he lost his title, his gold medals, but he had awesome matches with the phenomenal AJ Styles from Slammiversary to Hard Justice. And since Jeff Jarrett returned, Angle failed to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship from Samoa Joe with no surrender. And Angle has been hell-bent. The Olympic gold medalist starts this amazing feud with Jeff Jarrett at Bound for Glory. These two men would steal the show of what this company, TNA, stand for. Couple of nights later on Impact, Kurt Angle was hell-bent on destruction. He attacked the Motor City Machine Guns, Eric Young, Shark Boy, Rock and Rave Infection, and the ring announcer. Because he wants a rematch with Jeff Jarrett since BFG. Here's to the main event Mafia. Yeah! The next week on Impact, Live. In Las Vegas, Nevada, Kurt Angle forms the main event Mafia. Because wrestling people needs to learn all about respect. And for months, the main event Mafia took over TNA in the Impact Zone. Kurt Angle would get his shit together and have another great and violent battle with Jeff Jarrett. It was a physical and violent match between two rivals. The highlight of this physical match is when Angle hits the Angle Slam to Jeff Jarrett off the stage. And this time, in the end, Kurt Angle won. And at the end of 2009, Angle would have more great matches with the likes of Jay Styles, Matt Morgan and Desmond Wolfe. And yeah, the main event Mafia would be disbanded after Bound for Glory 2009. Kurt Angle had an interesting decade from a successful rookie year in 2000 to WWE champion to main eventing WrestleMania to his rivalry with Brock Lesnar to GM, etc. The list goes on and on. In my 4th episode of Brian Wildcat's Wrestling Stars during the 2000s, what other wrestling superstar should I talk about? Leave the comment below and let me know. That's all folks. See you in another video.